What's up, y'all? Tonight we're looking at something urgent. We're going to look at how Trump's second presidency is reshaping my home state of North Carolina along with the rest of the country. Okay? We're going to be jumping from ICE raids to healthcare shocks, from FEMA failures to a Senate race with national stakes. But before we begin, I just want to ask you to do me a favor. Like this video and hit subscribe. Okay, we're trying to reach 200 subscribers by the end of the year, and every tap genuinely helps push The Quiet Loud in front of more people who need clarity in a very confusing moment, and it would mean the world to me and this channel. All right, so let's get into The Quiet Loud. You might have seen this one before. It hit my For You page not too long ago. It was from a TikToker named Marilyn Dollmaker out of Greenwood, South Carolina, emotionally walking viewers through her Food Line receipt. It wasn't for a luxury haul either, nor a holiday feast. It was just groceries. And the total was over $400. Just for basics, guys. Basics. She wasn't buying lobster and filet mignon, guys. This was basics. Check this out.
Hello, everyone. Listen, I'm sitting down here. I just want to let y'all know I went to Food Lion today. And all of this, I just want to show y'all. This is all my stuff that I got today. Thinking that, okay, it should be pretty good, right? Just want to share y'all what all it cost me today. This is because I needed groceries, and I went. My groceries, y'all, came to $405.70 for what y'all see. So I'm like, darn. So that was my total.
The video has been duetted and stitched dozens of times and is circulating on Instagram Reels and Facebook groups across the Carolinas. But what really struck me wasn't just the number. It was the heartbreak behind it. It was the exhaustion, the resignation of how is anyone supposed to live? Okay? This isn't an isolated post. It's a symptom. Okay, it's a symptom of tariffs driving up food prices, supply disruptions from border crackdowns, and a federal government more focused on political vengeance than the cost of rice, than the cost of eggs and laundry detergent. They're more focused on rounding up brown people, just looking to contribute to our American fabric, than whether or not people can make ends meet. So I'll start here at home. North Carolina has seen more than 280 arrests associated with Operation Charlotte's Web. That's the Trump administration's immigration crackdown, as confirmed by Reuters and the AP. I spoke about this earlier, that the Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools reported over 30,000 student absences the day after raids intensified, which represents an unprecedented amount of fear within our communities. Over in Raleigh, the city's mayor reaffirmed that local police will not assist ICE, creating a standoff between federal agencies and local governments. Now add to that the tariffs. Okay, according to a KFF analysis released in November 26th, just about a week ago, Trump's renewed tariff package is projected to raise 2026 health insurance premiums by 7 to 11%, with rural counties in North Carolina being hit the hardest. And according to the National Taxpayers Union, tariffs on medical supplies have already raised costs at regional hospitals in Durham, in Greensboro, and over in Wilmington. Now add to that the FEMA failure. Now get this, the person overseeing North Carolina's hurricane and flood recovery, the National FEMA Recovery Czar they call it, is Michael Whatley. This is a Donald Trump longtime political ally. And this is the same Michael Whatley that's running against former Governor Roy Cooper for U.S. Senate here in North Carolina. Now, Whatley's stewardship is being rightly questioned after delays in federal aid distribution up and down the I-5 corridor. He's not here to help. And it's not lost on anyone that this is the same Whatley whose campaign ad claims he knows how to get FEMA moving. Don't take his word for it. Take the people in Western North Carolina's word for it. This right here is not a random endorsement. This is political power, and its political consequence landing squarely on the backs of North Carolinians, whom I hope won't make the mistake that they keep making. They keep handing the reins over to Republican senators who keep doing the same thing. It's getting so bad now that Tom Tillis decided he wasn't even going to go for it again. It's gone too fringe for these guys, okay? He couldn't go along with this because he knew what they were doing he could not explain to his constituents here in North Carolina. So let's talk about that race a little bit. On one side, you have Roy Cooper, a former governor and one of the most popular Democrats that this state has come up with in about a decade or more. And on the other hand, you have Michael Whatley, former NC GOP chair, current FEMA Recovery Czar, and one of Trump's most loyal operatives. So this is not a typical Senate contest. Cooper is running on stability, bipartisanship, and the ability to rebuild trust after years of federal turbulence, while Whatley is just running on loyalty toward Trump, and loyalty toward Trump's agenda, and loyalty towards a federal structure that keeps funneling power and money upward instead of outward toward the rest of us. Now, new polling from Public Policy Polling, or PPP, as people around here know it, shows that Cooper is leading Whatley by 5 points, 48 to 43. And then, but get this, among independents, the margin is double digits. Okay? So here's where it gets telling. When respondents were asked whether Trump's handling of Hurricanes Helene and Milton made them more or less likely to support Whatley, 34% of them said less likely. Wow. Only 12% said more likely. So this isn't just a Senate seat. It's a test. And it's going to tell us whether or not states like this are starting to move away from that Trump column. Okay? Are they starting to pay attention to what's happening to them and starting to really look at candidates who may not be representing a party, but is looking for their constituents, is trying to do the best for their district, for their state, and for the people of America? So, about those prices in that TikTok video. That sticker shock, I don't think, was accidental. They knew this was coming. It's part of their policy. Trump's new tariff package, particularly the tariffs on steel, aluminum, grain imports, and processed food components, has added between 8 and 19% to the cost of specific food staples. And the health factor is the American Hospital Association released a memo last week showing Trump's medical supply tariffs increased the cost of syringes, gloves, and basic surgical equipment by 12 to 15%, costs that hospitals are legally allowed to pass on. And they're going to, right? So in short, groceries are up, medical bills up, insurance premiums, we've not seen any bills coming out, so we know come January, they're going up. But we know where wages aren't going. They haven't been going up. Jobs numbers, particularly the private numbers coming out of ADP just recently, terrible. So for families in North Carolina, especially those in rural counties like Duplin, Robeson, and Lenoir, this is not just an economic issue. This is now becoming an issue of survival. And the administration's response so far is to blame foreign interference, or to blame sabotage, or deep state economists, or, for the love of God, Biden. Stop blaming Biden, okay? He hasn't been president since January 20th, and by all accounts, across the respected world, he left Trump an economy that was the envy of the world. So it's time to stop scapegoating, and it's time to really step up and take the lumps for what you have been doing and what your policies are doing to affect the people of this state, states just like this, states all around the country. Let's move on to the Department of Justice, okay? The Department of Justice is not just unstable. It looks like it's unraveling. Just recently, we saw an appeals court disqualified Alina Habba as U.S. Attorney for New Jersey, upholding a ruling that her installation was probably unconstitutional. So judges set her appointment and continued service after this ruling bypassed normal confirmation rules, and many of her actions could potentially be challenged. Okay? We've seen how when they overturn these bad appointments, what the fallout can be. Just like Letitia James and James Comey's charges now getting dismissed and thrown out because it was, the whole thing was poison when you start off from a poisonous place. Okay? And this comes as the FBI and the Pentagon continue investigating 6 elected veterans who released a PSA urging military and intelligence personnel to refuse illegal orders. This includes Senator Mark Kelly, Representative Jason Crow, and Governor-elect Mikey Sherrill. Okay? This probe is widely viewed as political. Veterans groups have condemned it as an attempt to criminalize the chain of conscience. And when people who safeguard democracy are being investigated while the people who undermine it are being promoted, This is showing that the system is not working normally. Okay? So one last thing tonight. 3 bad omens I see for Republicans heading toward the midterms. Okay? First, Tuesday's Tennessee special election, where Republican Matt Van Epps managed to hold the seat for Republicans, but only by single digits over the Democrat Aftyn Behn, in a district Trump carried by more than 20 points just a year ago. That's a 13-point Democratic overperformance in a race Republicans normally can win in their sleeps. GOP strategists told the AP that they had to dump unnecessary amount of money into the district just to hang on. And they're openly warning that enthusiasm is much higher on the Democratic side heading into the 2026 midterms. Second, the questions around Trump's health aren't going away. The White House says that his recent advanced imaging, the MRI, scans of his heart and abdomen came back perfectly normal, okay, as part of a routine executive physical, as if adding executive to everything just gives some validation and credence to whatever it is they're saying, okay? But medical experts interviewed by Scientific American and others point out that that full body or multi-organ MRI screening is not standard preventative care for men his age and is usually ordered when doctors are worried about something more specific. Add to that the weird rhythm of 2 yearly physicals in just 1 year. Visible swelling and bruising that we saw around his ankles and on his hand earlier in the year, and Trump bragging that it definitely wasn't his brain because he had, quote, aced a cognitive test. And you can see why people aren't satisfied with the everything is perfect, don't ask questions line. Okay? It's not convincing anyone. The more they try to cover it up, the more we can see. All right? We knew that Biden was old. Okay? We knew he was old when he walked into it. But he could still understand the issues in front of him. He knew the implications of the job he was doing. He knew the players involved. And he knew the rules and adhered to them. For all the other things you can talk about, they were more open about what was going on here. Meanwhile, Trump is trying to hide. So, third, that veterans PSA that I talked about earlier regarding illegal orders has now triggered a full-blown institutional clash. The FBI has contacted the 6 Democratic lawmakers, all with national security backgrounds, mind you, who appeared in that video reminding troops and intelligence officers that they are legally bound to refuse unlawful orders, not blindly follow them. But the Pentagon has opened its own investigation directly into Senator Mark Kelly. Those lawmakers say that the Trump administration is trying to intimidate them into silence. And in direct response, California's Attorney General has rolled out a new portal for reporting unlawful behavior by federal agents as states start building their own guardrails against this massive abuse of power. So taking these together, these aren't just random headlines. To me, they're blaring signals that voters in red districts are closer than they're supposed to be, that the president's health story gets stranger every time they try to calm it down and cover it up. And veterans in Congress are warning the country, now out loud, to prepare for illegal orders. Those are the kinds of tremors you feel before something spectacular breaks. And I think we're going to see that spectacular break happen next November. All right? So before we get out of here, if you're still here with me, if you stayed toward the end of this video, thank you very much. Please remember to like this video and tap subscribe, okay? I see in the shorts that people are watching and people are commenting, and I am so grateful. Let's share it with someone who's trying to make sense of this moment. So people are watching, but not everybody's hitting subscribe. So if you could please hit subscribe and help us get to this goal of 200 subscribers by the end of the year, I would be so grateful. All right. Once again, thank you all for the 25,000 views plus that we have now reached. Thank you so much for the continuing conversation, and thank you for trusting me to walk through this with you. So as always, I'm going to ask you to be loud in your listening and to be real in your truth. I'm DeAntony Collins, and this has been The Quiet Loud. All right, y'all take care.